Up and Adam. I'm Jack Tomczak. That's Andrew Lee.
Turn my mic on. Good morning. My button's
That's
stuck.
important.
Oh, I hit the button, but it...
Without that mic,
stuck.
you're just some dude sitting in a room with another dude yelling and reading the newspaper.
It's a normal Thursday for me.
The show, as always, produced by Lump.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's that breakfast? It's good.
It's a good apple. Very good.
On the show today at 7 o'clock, Mark.
Corin? Coran?
It's not.
I love corn.
Not the mayor of Oak Grove, who's an awesome guy that I enjoy a great deal, but the guy who beat Senator Sean Nenow for the Republican endorsement for the senator's seat in the Senate, which is where senators sit.
In their seats.
In the seat.
In the Senate.
In at 7 o'clock for listeners in the legislature. He listens over podcast, though. At 7:15.
Still counts.
Yep, it does. John
Still
Spry,
counts.
to talk about some stuff.
Things and stuff.
And then Jason Flores with Americans for Prosperity to talk about the paid family leave tax.
Jam-packed show.
And then John Spry is back.
Just going to skip a segment.
Wait, no, John Spry is. We've talked about this privately, but John Spry tells you when he's coming on and what he's going to talk about.
Right.
So today he had two topics. And
I will be in on Thursday.
This is where I can
And
fit.
this is what I'll be talking about.
Spry is going to
Here's all the things you need to read before I come in.
Is going to defend.
He treats us like we're his students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just habit.
Here's your assignment.
I appreciate the clarity in communication. Spry is going to defend State Senator Terry Bonoff against attacks by the Star Tribune that she has supported tax cuts. Terry Bonoff is, of course, running against Eric Paulson for the seat in the 3rd. And then speaking of Congress people, Congressperson Tom Emmer calling in at 8:15. We're talking guns. Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Normally he comes in on Fridays or calls in on Fridays. Mm-hmm. Little
Not
early.
today.
Little early Emmer this week.
Yeah.
What are we going to do tomorrow?
Hum.
Just for that whole segment when Tom's usually on. Hum.
So
That's good radio.
Yeah. We're going to look. We can't beat CCO. We will join them. Last night,
That's well done. Well said.
Last night, I emceed the Mahu 2016 annual convention.
Okay. What's Mahu? Mahu.
It's a thing.
Good.
And this is about as much as I knew when I walked in the door. It's the Minnesota Association of Health Underwriters.
Okay.
And this was booked out a few months ago, and I was just to moderate a panel discussion on technology and healthcare. Fine, no problem. But then I got an email from the Department of Commerce that said, please explain your certifications and qualifications in health insurance.
Oh, did you write back?
I was like, I don't have any.
I have none. Here, I'll list them all out for you. Send.
That was it. And up until halfway through me talking,
right?
I was like, did they get the right person?
Is there another Jack Tomczak out there?
It's like I wrote an email. I'm just a radio guy, right? I don't know anything. But it ended up working out fine. It was a very interesting conversation about pretty much how technology is helping people react to Obamacare and the fact that Obamacare has made things more expensive. Like, what are we going to do going forward now that it's really expensive to go see a doctor? What is the best way forward? I thought that I was very fascinating and interesting and funny.
But you always think that.
That is true. The best part is that Minsure was one of the sponsors of the event.
Oh, God.
And they got like 3 jokes at their expense when I was on stage.
Good.
I never want to make somebody who advocated to have me speak at their event look bad.
No, of course not.
Why did you have that?
Of course not. That's just courtesy. If somebody invites you, just like the way we treat our guests, if we invite them to come onto our show, it's like we're inviting them into our house. We
won't be a beehole till like the 3rd time.
Right.
Yeah. Once everybody's comfortable, then we'll be mean.
Unless they start it.
Right.
If they throw the first punch, then it's on. But we never invite people into our house, i.e. onto our show, with the intent of being a beehole to them.
Yeah, I looked at this as more of a lap than a house. you're going to come sit on our lap, we'll be nice.
It's one and the same to me.
But you also
If you're
need,
in my house, you're on my lap.
you need to be.
You want to come over later, Lump?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Ah!
I wasn't paying attention. No.
You also need to be who you are and who they booked, and so it's a
Of course.
fine line.
Yeah, exactly. It's striking that balance.
Yeah, but it was a very cool event. I met a pile of listeners, and it was neat. So
They were in
Were
a
they in
pile?
a pile? That's really weird.
I
The
advocated.
listeners are strange.
I advocated for some type of tables and chairs seating arrangement. They said, nope, this is how we underwriters do things.
You want to show up late to that event.
Yeah, you don't want to be. Oh,
Yeah.
so many deaths.
Right. You don't want to be there early.
They just have
Then
like
you're
a
on the
sign,
bottom of the pile.
A sign that says "Up and Adam listeners," and then they just pile.
Everybody in. Everybody in.
Weird.
So I got home yesterday, and normally when I get home, my house is empty. You know, my kids are at school, wife's at work, etc. And I have this weird quirk that I've never even really thought about because it's only something I do when I'm alone.
Yeah, and as long as nobody's looking in the windows, it's fine.
It's not like dirty or anything, but like if I'm home alone, the house is empty, the house is quiet, the TV's not on, whatever, I will sort of talk and sing my way through the house, sort of narrating what I'm doing in song. It's a weird quirk of mine. I don't know why I do it. I've done it for a long time. It's just sort of filling the empty space with noise. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do a radio show with you. I'm familiar.
Right. So I'm walking through my house, assuming I'm home alone, and I'm getting ready to make my lunch. So I'm walking to the fridge. I'm going, time to make some lunch. Going to make some lunch. Going to grab my cottage cheese. Looking for my cucumbers. And I'm just singing along, narrating what I'm doing. I'm in the fridge, got the fridge door open, and I'm thinking, looking for my green onions. Can't find any green onions. And I shut the fridge door, and there's my son, Cricket, standing on the other side of it, just like giving me this look, head tilted, very confused. And he just looks, do you always sing to yourself? I'm like, well, yeah, I do. It's, you caught me.
So
My dirty little secret has been exposed.
my kids are much younger than me and have only seen the me that I show them. Your son saw you.
Right.
first time.
The curtain got peeled back
like
a
you're-
little bit.
You were no longer dead. You were a person.
It's just
a
weird
weird person.
weird guy in my house just singing along about making his cottage cheese. Looking for my cucumbers.
What? How did your son take that?
It was very confusing. It was a very, it's,
Oh, Cricket, I'm strange.
you may not know this about me. I'm kind of a weird dude.
Well, that facade is ruined. You want to get drunk? I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird moment. Very cute. He's like, I've been standing here for 30 seconds just listening to you sing.
What's worse, that or that's your impression of your son?
Quite accurate, actually.
What's wrong with you, Dad?
Dad? But Dad, why? Why do you do this? I don't know, son. I don't know.
One tear. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
I think he's moving out today.
Blue and the man in the moon.
He's looking for his own place.
Yeah. Lump is on the phone. We'll talk about that when we return. Boss man, what's at the top of the news?
Well, we've been talking recently about the whistleblower in the Department of Commerce who is now alleging that he was sexually harassed by his boss within the Department of Commerce. Dayton first said, I haven't even looked into the lawsuit. I don't know. People will tell me when it's important. Well, now he's come out and he's actually made a couple statements on it. We'll get into that. Plus, there's a study that shows how much it costs to live comfortably in Minneapolis.
Unintelligible remarks by the governor when we return.